Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing an unboxing with an honest review of a watch from Vaer. So let's get into it. So presentation from the actual box, it does look cool. This is a sleeve and it gives here on the back all the specifications, which is really nice. I do like that. And for what it gives you for the price, I did have a coupon I used. It is very compelling, though, from all the videos I've watched on their watches, from their quartz to their automatics. I have my own opinion on it, and I do hope that they do improve, because if this does not turn out to be what I like, I will be returning it. It does show you the pamphlet of manual, and then they go in detail about their water resistance with the screw down crown, which is something I'm not too excited about, being that this watch right here, like many watches, don't have a screw down crown and have 100-meter water resistance. So that right there, the marketing on that isn't really compelling enough to me. All right, before we get into the straps, I can just tell you this strap I'm not going to like right away. The camera is probably not going to do it justice, being with the lighting, but I do have a strap to the side that I want to compare it to, and the main reason is it's silicone. It does feel nice, and it is soft, which I don't like this type of softness because it does grab lint. Other than that, like, the design is really nice, and I do appreciate this little locking mechanism here on the strap, which is for this piece right here. So when you fine tune where you want your tightness to be, you would just send this through and it would hold the keeper and the strap together for more secure fit, which I do like. And this strap right here, just right off when I seen it, I do like the feel of it. It's a seatbelt feel, it's sturdy, it's a really nice color, and it does have the quick release, which is something I feel like should be standard nowadays. It's better for the watch because you don't have to worry about damaging it. But this right here is an FKM. It's a matte finish, not smooth in that sense. It's smooth but not a overly soft type of material. It's dense and the pigment on it is very high, so the contrast is comparable, but this does not pick up lint, and that's what I like about FKMs. Looking at the watch, because there's so many videos on this watch that it's a little bit confusing depending on the date of release of the video, because this has been around for a while. Some people talk about the seconds hand being misaligned horribly, and that was something I was concerned about, being that they're a micro brand, and I would expect them to do better than the established companies that are lazy and choose not to have the seconds hand calibrated, or alone just have a really good seconds hand if it's a quartz one in this fashion where it ticks instead of having a sweeping seconds hand like a mega quartz. So comparing it to my old Swiss Army watch here, this one isn't hitting the indices completely throughout the dial, but it is acceptable enough and something I would expect, especially with inflation. This watch probably was a $50 to $100 watch, and that was in 99, 2000. So it probably would be on par with this, and this one does really well. I find it pretty accurate, so you know when you want to synchronize your seconds hand, you can tell right away that it's on the 12 rather than a little behind the 12. So I do like that, and I will get a loom shot near the end. But before we continue, I do want to say that the case is very nice. I like the shape of it because it's more elegant, and this case could be used in a dress version of a field watch if they did some polishing with a different dial and hands. So I do like their case and crown, so it is very nice, and it does look really good in person. The 40mm, very comparable to this. This one's more blunt, as I said. It's a little bit more of a tool look rather than an elegant old school tool look from like the 40s, which this is probably more or less taken inspiration from World War II. The syringe hands are really nice. I am not necessarily a big fan of them, but it is something different. I am a little bit more favored towards the sword hands. All right, and I'm back. I got the strap on. I will say it was a little bit of a struggle to get these on. The spring is a bit too stiff, so I did have to put the watch down and really be careful slotting that in, because it wasn't as easy compared to this one. Was much easier. So that's one thing I will say if you're buying this, that the springs on here do seem a little bit more on the tougher side when trying to get them to activate. You can tell it's a very stiff spring, so I do not like that. Other than that, I did get it in and it is secure, and it does look much nicer with this on, and I can definitely see this one being really nice with suede, leather, and sailcloth. But this one does really well, so I'm going to put it on wrist and then we'll do a loom shot, and that's where we'll end this video. And like that, we're back, and it does look pretty nice. It's a little bit stiff, but that will break in just like this watch strap. I did have to break it in. The 20mm is really nice. I do wish that the strap did taper at least to like maybe an 18 like this one, because this is 20 and it goes down a little bit. So other than that, that's just a nitpick, but it does look really nice, and it is comfortable, this strap, and it does feel really nice. And the lugs do wrap around elegantly. I do like that, and I can definitely see this being an everyday watch, an upgraded watch. I do like this one, but I do need to get serviced to make it look a little bit more prettier. But for the price that I got this for, I think it's really well designed. I do hope to see more quality come from them, and even more designs, because out of the bunch, even like Redwood, they have nice watches like these, but their dials aren't as clean in my opinion. I do like these ones a little bit more. And as you can see, the loom is very bright and strong. It is the BGW9. I do wish it was the C3 because I favor the green over the blue. Though, with that, leave your comments down below. Let's have a discussion, and I'll see you in the next one.